started, if you want to just tell me a little bit about you and about the business and kind of how you got started.
Yeah, so my name's Alicia, and earlier this year, as all the racial conversations kind of started popping up everywhere, um, I'm in like very social and politically active, pretty much anywhere I move to. So I'm in a whole bunch of groups. I'm in Urban League, and a volunteer with Delta Sigma Theta as well. And people were calling for, blackouts, and Juneteenth was coming up. I'm from Texas, so Juneteenth has a special place in my heart. I've celebrated my whole life. And there were a lot of calls for, shopping Black and exclusively shopping Black and making this, the beginning of our Harlem Renaissance, and just like all these words are floating around. And so, I was definitely all for those conversations and heavily involved in them, and wanted to do my part and spend Black as much as I could. And that led to finding out that there weren't really any grocery stores that were Black owned in Nashville. So there are a couple that have a few things, but we don't have any full service ones yet. And so I figured that was the problem, especially in the middle of a pandemic, because I'm fairly certain, like as I kind of started doing research and asking around, and especially true for my husband and myself, that we're really only spending money on bills and groceries. Just trying to, make sure that we are saving our money and, making sure that we have, money to last us as long as possible if anything should happen, especially with all the uncertainty. You just like really never know what's going to happen. And so when those types of times come up, people stop spending money on everything, right? Or, they start cutting back here and there. But, as things started to worsen, that was definitely true for us, where, food, daycare, bills, that's kind of it. So, and so what that, ends up leading to is that it becomes hard to shop Black when we don't have a grocery store. Obviously the electric company is not Black owned. So,
Right.
yeah, so I started doing research and, figured that, rather than kind of waiting around and hoping that somebody started one, I just decided to start one, and hoping to grow it to have a storefront soon. But that's kind of the backstory to why I decided to start it.
Okay, awesome. And that kind of answered my next question. Like, did you have any plans for expansions or opening a store or anything?
Yeah. So right now, and it's called Craig's Grocery Stop, by the way. I definitely did not mention that at the beginning. Um, so right now, we just make deliveries to different locations across the city. So just trying to make it convenient for everybody. And with that, hoping to grow that into having enough sales to justify getting a storefront. Hoping to do that in the next year or so. We'll just kind of see how that goes. And then on the backside, the benefit to shopping with us versus any other stores is that we're actually donating proceeds, to local Black nonprofits. So another thing that kind of came up in my research is that or that economic downturn, have a negative impact on Black nonprofits. So, people have less to give, so they're giving less. And that, of course, leaves us on the bottom of the totem pole, unfortunately. But a lot of Black nonprofits are often serving the communities that need the most help, right? So I just made that as a part of the mission as I got started, because it's like, well, what's the purpose if you're just going to open a store? But this is a store, one, to help us recirculate Black dollars, and to help us keep these nonprofits going, as, no matter where the economy goes, but just a way for us to directly have a straight impact on our local community, and actually report those figures every month. So July is actually our first month. So in a couple of days, I'll be making a donation to one or more local Black nonprofits, and I'll post that as I complete the transactions, and I'll share that with our customers so that way they are able to see it firsthand. That not joking, not a game. Every month, obviously, hopefully hoping to grow, and to be able to make a larger and larger impact as we continue on. So.
Yeah, I love that. So do people, when they shop, do they choose a charity, or is that something you just choose on your own? And
So I will have a weekly newsletter. So toward the end of the month, I'm actually just sent that one out earlier this week. Is I'll make a call for any suggestions if people have any. And then, like I said, I'm fairly active in the community, so I'm always kind of keeping a pulse on that, seeing who's doing what. Like there's a crowd of people that have been protesting outside of Legislative Plaza, now known as Ida B. Wells Plaza, at the state capitol, that have been protesting nonstop day and night for the last 50 days, right? So like seeing stuff like that, like knowing that they're going to need resources, that they're going to need continued help. I'm, very keenly aware of that, and, just kind of trying to stay active, keep my ear to the streets, if you will. But I also do ask for input from our customers. So they don't choose it with each transaction, but they do get to see the results at the end of the month.
Okay, and since your store is online at the moment, can you talk a little bit about what the process looks like? So I need groceries.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you need groceries. You would go on our website, www.craigsgrocerystop.com. And then you just take a look, pretty much just like any online ordering process. You take a look, you select your items. We're on Shopify, so if you have a Shopify account already, then that's automatically set up, but it also just takes regular credit card, also takes PayPal, so you can pay however is most convenient for you. And then once we receive that order, then we reach out to you to coordinate the delivery part of it. So we'll let you know what day of the week will be in your area. And with each item that you select, you would select your area. So say if you're in Smyrna, you get some Sprite, I would say Sprite, and then you'll see a drop down where you would select Smyrna for your area. And then we would contact you after you place your order to let you know when we'll be in the area to coordinate when you're able to come pick that up from us and where. And then we're working on getting some business partnerships, so that way it's not so day specific. So that way it would just be kind of a notification like your, groceries are available for pickup at this location. So also just working, to get some foot traffic for people that already have storefronts, but have the capacity to actually hold and store orders for us. And right now we just have non-perishables, so it's not anything that would go bad if you couldn't pick it up right at that time. But right now we coordinate that with you after you place your order.
Awesome. And so I know you kind of just started, but what are some of the mistakes you wish you kind of could have avoided? Have you made any yet that you've noticed?
I think I would just like from a business standpoint, I'm definitely much more of a willing to look for my parachute after I jump out of the plane kind of person. So, I've been very fortunate to have, my own savings to be able to pull from. So I think I would have kind of lined out some of the startup expenses a little better in the beginning. I'm fairly familiar with the process, but just to kind of have like a better hold on that, that's probably what I would say. If I could just start all over from scratch, I would have kind of lined those things out, because it was kind of one of those like had just enough knowledge to be dangerous kind of thing. So, and then of course, like once you're in it, you just kind of do the best to put out whatever fires. So yeah, that, and then probably also having somebody proof the website. So like I caught a couple of typos like after I've been like promoting and trying to get like all this stuff, and I was just like and my grandma was an English teacher, so like stuff like that just always bothers me.
Oh yeah, I even with like social media stuff, I'm like, oh my god, did I spell that right? Is that the right grammar? Did I put A in there? It's
right.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah. And like you don't, and like you think you're thinking about it, but then like you post and you're just like, really? So you're like trying to edit really quick.
Right. Or telling people see it. Yep.
Yeah. And then especially on like stories. Like if I spell something wrong on stories, and like it'll be up for like 4 hours, I'm like, oh, like let me see how many people have seen this. And then you're like, really? Like yep.
Things happen. It's fun.
Exactly.
So how did you make your first sale?
Oh man. You would think I would like exactly remember that. It was a friend. So I was like posting in a whole bunch of group me's from friends as I, like once I got started and once I got the shop kind of up, and there weren't really like very many items up, and even now we still like I don't think we have 40 items yet that are available, but it was like the first like few items, and like one of my friends made a purchase, and I was like, thank you so much, you know. And then it only took 3 or 4 purchases before I got like the first sale from somebody I didn't know. So that was really exciting. And then just like, you know, trying to stay active on social and just, you know, make sure to get the word out and continuing to, you know, put out newsletters after we get new items posted and stuff like that. And then I'm also actively trying to source products from Black manufacturers, which is also difficult. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I should have like toilet paper that's Black manufactured, some detergent, and some other things that I was able to get in contact with some Black manufacturers for products as well, because that's definitely the ultimate goal. Is like if we could have a store where everything is like farm to table for Black folks, you know, produce, all that, that would definitely be, you know, that's the ideal dream that we're shooting for. So
Yeah, I'm just disappointed in myself that I didn't even know that there were so many Black businesses around me. So there's a ton. And
there are.
gosh, like I just got like some organic skincare stuff from Lexi. Like that was awesome. I like foods, of course I'm gonna find those places. So there are like people out there and I'm just like, why didn't I know about this sooner?
Exactly. Yeah, or and just like stuff that's like more than just restaurants, right? Like it's pretty easy to find like restaurants. But again, especially in the middle of a pandemic, it's like we go out like maybe once a week, and I've cooked like more than I ever have in my entire adult life. Like,
yeah.
And that's like, you know, from somebody like I can cook, but like I don't necessarily like it. But yeah, like we're just, you know, like in the house.
Yeah.
A lot. So
all day. Yeah. So I only have one last question, which you kind of answered it a little bit. So what kind of distinguishes you from your competition? I know you do like the donations to nonprofits and try to get Black manufacturers. Is there kind of anything else that makes you a little different?
I think the convenience right now is definitely helpful. So I did kind of a survey, and some people travel as much as 10 miles to get their full grocery list kind of taken care of. Usually have to go to a couple stores. So to be able to have that option that's closer than that is definitely beneficial. But really, I'm just, you know, all Black everything is really what I'm going for. So I'm just kind of hoping that is definitely a major draw for people. I've crunched the numbers and it's kind of staggering. So like as the economy goes like worse and worse, right? Like I still have to eat. I still got to get bread, eggs, all that good stuff. Well, on the low end, so this is like adjusted and, you know, some averages, but 75,000 Black households in Davidson County alone, just groceries, is $22.5 million every month.
Jeez. Okay.
Where does that money go?
Right. Oh my gosh.
And so like, just, you know, and that's just like, just in Davidson County, right? So it's like, if you take all of Middle Tennessee, all the Black folks, if everybody just decided to get rice from us, right? Like that in and of itself is a huge impact. And then the fact that all those proceeds are going back into the local Black community, not, you know, it like NAACP, great organization, urbanly great organization. Like there's a ton of national organizations that are doing a lot of things, but like where are the businesses that are giving to Gideon's Army, to the Equity Alliance, to, you know what I'm saying? So that's where, you know, like for us, by us, like is possible if we like literally just focus on basics. I don't need bells and whistles, like just give me some bread and eggs. And like, let's figure out a way to take care of our own community. And that could look a whole bunch of different ways. So not even just organizations, but teachers that need supplies for their students, right? Like who, you know, are there organizations that are actively doing that? And so just the visibility of that is really what we're trying to focus on. And, you know, to have numbers like that in front of people's face all the time of just like, no, like we can like literally just get pasta and like from each other and, you know, be able to do a lot of amazing things. Cause, you know, 5% of $22 million a month.
Yeah.
That's several community centers, that's several clean streets, that's a whole bunch of storefronts, you know what I mean? So That's the vision. So yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you kind of want people to know?
No, just check us out if you have any suggestions. Right now it's me, so when I say we, if you reach out to us on Instagram, you'll be talking to Alicia. And the brand, of course, is Craig. So some people are like, oh, like, can we meet Craig? It's me. Like Craig. So Craig is just so way people can kind of get familiar with the brand and start to associate that, and just really asking people to take that extra step to split your grocery list one more time, but in the name of Blackness, and in favor of trying to help uplift our community is like really what we're pushing. And that's just, hopefully people are able to ride with us and believe in what we're trying to do, and yeah, see this thing grow.